Redneck Resilience. Proof of Concept by James Harold Webb. In 1950s, Laurel, Mississippi, two 16-year-olds learn they are expecting a child. Their world is small, their options even smaller. Yet from this beginning comes a boy who refuses to live the life others expect for him. This is the rise of James Harold Webb. What happens when a child born into limitation decides he will rewrite his future? James grows up surrounded by hard work, family, and faith. Choir rehearsals, Cub Scouts, long days mowing yards, selling potholders and throwing newspapers from his bike. Near-death health experiences, small moments that sharpen his grit. Then, while attending the local junior college, he sees a simple sign. Want to be an X-ray tech? Call Liz Bush. One decision changes everything, pushing him toward a career and a future far from home. At 23, James left Mississippi for Texas to advance his education and career. Married, one daughter, then divorce. Years later, after moving to Boca Raton, Florida, while in the Chicago office of his employer, a young woman walks in and smiles and says, "Where's your cowboy boots? I thought all you country boys wore cowboy boots." He wasn't wearing cowboy boots, but the spark is instant. Marcia. A romance becomes a marriage, and a marriage becomes a family. But success is not a straight line. At 37, James starts his first company and travels for 3 years throughout Latin America and the Caribbean. Held at gunpoint twice by the Sandinista soldiers. Escapes being kidnapped by the Guatemala rebels. Witness hangings on the Savannah in Trinidad. During this time, he and Marcia have 2 little boys. After 3.5 years, James sells the company for a small profit and eventually moves back to Texas and invests all he had in his next company. At 43, James is broke and cannot pay his bills. One bold business move pulls him out of the freefall, and money finally starts to flow and never stops. How far can resilience carry a man who refuses to quit? Then the unthinkable. Without any previous symptoms, Marcia is diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. James is notified by the doctors first and has to go home, tells her. And together, they collapse on the bed in a storm of tears. After 5 months of treatment, most of it experimental, Marcia is dismissed from the doctors and given 30 days to live. On that exact same day, James is unexpectedly diagnosed with kidney cancer. He forgoes treatment and simply has the doctors surgically remove his kidney tumor and anything else that looked contaminated. He leaves the hospital after 18 hours, and now he must tell their 2 young sons that their mother will not survive. Marcia dies 6 days later. James and his boys spend the summer traveling together, healing and mourning the loss of Marcia. Grief reshapes him, but it does not end him. Now raising 2 young boys and continuing to grow his companies, James decides to try Match.com and has his first date in 20 years and the last first date for the rest of his life. He meets Kathy and they have a blast. A first date becomes a healing chapter. A blended family forms with Kathy taking on the role of mom, her 2 daughters, and James's daughter, and 2 sons. They have a wedding for the ages and life expands again. A few years later, James signs the papers to sell his medical imaging company, $94 million. Not one to quit, James builds another company in the fitness sector and eventually sells it for almost as much as his imaging company. Over his career, James built 18 companies and sold 5 of them. Proof of what resilience can build. When life knocks you down again and again, what kind of person finds the strength to rise every time? This is the journey of James Harold Webb. Resilience finds a way.